Okay, we are about ready to get started, and right now, Vermillion, you are our only school at the other end. Hopefully, Cuyahoga Valley Career Center and Warrensville Heights High School will be joining us, but I want to welcome you to our program. I'm John Ramacone, the Director of Distance Learning Services here at WVIZ. We are located in downtown Cleveland on Playhouse Square, and coming to you from what we call is our Hershey studio, our video conferencing studio. And again, welcome. This morning's program, Preparing for My Future, Training, Certifications in Higher Education, we are going to be talking to you about career opportunities in advanced manufacturing and the different pathways that our three guests have taken to get them to where they are today. All three of them being very successful with regards to their employment place, and also with regards to the type of earnings that they are making. And I think it's important for you to understand as we move through our program here that these opportunities are out there for you. Ohio is in the top 5 in this country, top 5 states with regards to manufacturing. It's sort of been a new rebirth for us here in the state. We used to be one of the leading states, I should say, a while back, and now we, through the use of technology and so forth, have gotten ourselves back into that top 5. Manufacturing is not what not necessarily your parents, but perhaps your grandparents were involved in. The dark factory, the dirty foundry, not a whole lot of technology, probably more sweat and muscle than anything else. Today that's all changed, and you'll see as we move through our guests here and as you ask your questions just how refined their job has become and how important technology, math and science and IT now fit into their everyday place of business, and of course the products that they produce. So let me bring up our guests and introduce them to you. We have a couple video clips and a couple slides that we'd like to show you as we move through the program. First of all, to my immediate right is Sam Novotny. Sam actually has the honor, the dubious honor, of being the youngest of our guests. He is a recent graduate from Auburn Career Center, which is located, is that Geauga or Lake County?
Lake County.
In Lake County, okay, east of here. And Sam graduated from Painesville Harvey High School, and actually with 2 years, 2 years credit then with the Cuyahoga Valley Auburn Career Center.
Yes.
Okay. And is now working with Swagelok, which is an international company. One of its facilities located here in the Cleveland area, and Sam's involved in making some very interesting, I guess we would call them control valves that probably operate anything you can think about.
Yeah, a lot of stuff like submarines and nuclear plants. Make a lot of stuff you use every day.
What took you to Auburn Career Center? Based on what I saw in your bio, you're really interested in, to begin with, HVAC and then some welding, but you moved into advanced manufacturing?
Yeah, Auburn actually came to my school to tell us that we were accepted, but they didn't tell me that I hadn't been accepted into the welding or HVAC, and they kind of gave me the list of the open programs, and advanced manufacturing was the first, and that's just what I went with.
And that was a 2-year program for you?
Yeah.
Okay. And what did that provide for you with regards to an opportunity to at least interview with Swagelok?
What do you mean by that?
Well, I guess the experience that it provided to make Swagelok interested in you as a possible employee.
Just kind of like the base of the program.
Yeah.
They gave me a lot of machining knowledge, like manual machines and CNC machines, computer-controlled machines, and just kind of like that.
Okay. but it was enough for Swagedock to say, you seem to have the background that we need. We can train you. We're going to give you an opportunity to join our company, and you've been with it now for 7 months, right?
Yeah.
Okay. And you are running a machine. What's it called?
It is a Porta. It's about as big as a garage. It's huge. 14 positions. During the day, I'll be making anywhere from like 100 to 200 parts an hour.
Okay. And computer operated?
Yeah.
And you've had, I think you said you had, what, about 4 months training before the machine was literally turned over to you?
Yeah.
Okay. And what happens if you break it?
I'll probably be jobless.
I'm not sure if you'll be jobless. They'll help you fix it.
Oh, of course.
I would imagine that you probably have learned quite a bit about the machine itself, have you not?
Yeah, quite a bit.
Okay. So you can probably take care of any type of minor issues that pop up?
Yeah.
Okay.
If any tools break or anything like that, I can handle that.
Yeah. Let's take a look at what Swagedock actually is involved with company-wise, and then we'll come back and ask a couple more questions. Let me move us over to our computer and take a look at our first clip here. Well, I tell you, I don't understand why this thing is not clicking in right away. Send to the computer. There we go. All right.
You are here. You are here. You are here. And you are here. From the depths of the oceans to the furthest reaches of our solar system, you are called on to explore, generate, invent, and innovate in the most hostile environments imaginable. The stakes are high. There is no margin for error. You need solutions that will not fail. Solutions that stay strong under pressure and that withstand the test of time. We know because, like you, the people and products of Swagedock thrive in critical situations. Because, like you, we strive for perfection under the most demanding circumstances. It's how we are made. It's how our products are made. And it's why we're here. To join with you and perform under pressure.
Okay, very good. Let's bring us back here. And let me ask another question then, Sam, with regards to your responsibilities, and you have a couple examples of the products that you make. What type of material are you making valves from? Because looking at space and looking at nuclear plants and submarines and so on and so forth, that has to be very costly, and I would imagine very substantial material, because you're not going to put a valve into a submarine that's not going to hold up and definitely operate when it needs to operate.
Yeah, we have a lot of different materials. We have some stainless steels and some aluminum, brass, stuff like that.
Okay, and this looks like stainless steel right here, is it not?
I think so, yeah.
Okay, and this is quite heavy. What's this weigh? 20, 25, 30 pounds maybe?
I don't know. It feels like 100. It's pretty big valve.
Okay, now is this a valve that you might make then?
Not so much this.
Okay.
I make kind of like the smaller ones. It's kind of like.
And we have an example here. Yeah, let me zoom in on that. Okay.
This is a micro fit valve.
Okay, and what would that be found in?
Anything, liquid systems, natural gas systems, anything that's making things, any type of, just a lot of stuff. I honestly don't really know
Okay,
what this would be in. Just
but it looks like it's complicated and it's gonna make something work,
yeah.
and very important. And then we have another one here, another type of valve, and as the just hold up, as the kids saw in the different products, again, Now, let me ask you another question with regards to your opportunities to advance in the company now. You're running this machine that yeah, is, what, $4.5 million in value. Where would you go next?
I think anywhere I could possibly want to go. I think there's a 2-year commitment on the machine I'm on right now,
Okay.
and then I can move to pretty much anywhere else if I want to learn something new.
All right, so that's the training they give you, and they're saying, we're going to train you on this machine, and we want you to work this machine for 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay, good. All right, super. And again, from Auburn Career Center, any thoughts about going on to school?
Yeah, there's a lot of opportunities to go to college, especially at Switch. Like, we have a tuition reimbursement program, as long as it has to do with the field you're in, so like engineering or anything like that. As long as you get good grades, you can get a pretty good ride in college.
All right, super. Well, again, appreciate you being here with us. Okay, we're going to move over to our next guest. And whoops, got to go one over. I'm sorry, Aisha. All right, there's John. John, and I'm going to try not to kill his name. I've done a fairly good job. Podrosky.
That's right.
That's better. Okay, super. And John works with Logisync, and he is a project engineer.
That's right, a project
Okay.
engineer.
And what actually is a project engineer?
So, as a project engineer, you have to have a pretty good understanding of how engineering operations work. And a project engineer manages projects. I make sure that the engineers understand what their budgets are, how they, what they need to do in terms of planning, and whether we're going to meet schedule and budget. It's a little different from what I went to school for, but it's just another example of how you can take your career and whatever you learn in school and advance it to the next level, to the next value level for certain.
Okay. And your pathway, education-wise, a graduate from Westlake High School.
That's right.
You entered Lorain County Community College, and then graduated from University of Toledo.
That's right.
And as we said, and literally did not step a foot on the grounds of Toledo. Tell us about that process.
So, for those of you in Vermilion, you're probably familiar with Lorain County Community College. They have the University Partnership Program. And what that basically allows you to do is you pay half of LCC's tuition for the 2 years. You pay LCC's tuition for the first 2 years, and then the actual university's tuition for the second 2 years. It ends up reducing your costs a whole heck of a lot. And so what my path was, I graduated Westlake High School in 2005, enrolled in LCC and the University of Toledo Partnership Program, and got a degree in computer science engineering. And when I finished, my degree was from Toledo, and I had maybe stepped foot on campus a total of 6 times. So you get a state degree, at reduced tuition, and you walk out with, the degree that you wanted, and in a very reasonable price.
And Logisync is located in Avon, and what are the products that you guys produce?
So Logisync is, we enable manufacturing more than creating exact products. We certainly design and manufacture circuit boards, but what we try to do is we try to enable the products for our customers with communications. So we work with embedded devices. For those of you who don't know what an embedded device is, just think of the circuit board inside your phone. It monitors sensors, it monitors various things in an environment such as a manufacturing environment. And we enable that to communicate to other things. Right now I'm working, actually, I'm sure you guys are familiar with smartphones. The product that I'm working on right now is actually a Bluetooth Low Energy product, which is the same radio that goes into your Fitbit. If I don't know if one of your parents might have gotten a Fitbit for Christmas. So I'm actually developing on that particular piece of hardware for a customer who wants to integrate their product with a smartphone. So I'm developing the interface that allows a smartphone to talk to their device.
Okay, we've got a couple slides here for Logisync. Let's take a look at the slide here, and we also have a nice picture of some of the work that's being done. Okay, Logisync, neat looking logo. All right.
Thanks.
Did you design that one?
I did not,
You did not
unfortunately.
design it. Okay. And what is this piece of equipment?
So that is a movable test rack. Each one of those little gray controllers is actually a refrigeration controller. What we did, I helped build that system. That's a system test fixture for example, a store like a Walmart or a Target. And each one of those gray boxes is a refrigeration controller that would be controlling a particular, a reach-in cooler or a cooler with a door on it. And so what we did for that particular customer was we put all those devices and we simulated an actual store environment. And because we're dealing with the communication side of things, we monitored the communications. When there's lots of activity on the network, we wanted to make sure that the network didn't fail. We made sure that if a value was sent from one of those white controllers down to a device or down to all the devices, that it worked. And so it was basically a system test environment.
And then the last slide we have here is just some contact information with regards to John. John, what was your interest in middle school and high school, and then pushed you in this direction? Were you always an interested techie guy?
Yeah, actually, I started playing with my first computer back in third grade, which was, I think, the mid-'90s. And ever since I started messing with computers, I knew it was what I wanted to do. And so, as I was moving through high school, they had a career connections course. And one of the career connections course, they had a personnel from Lorain County Community College come in and talk about a program that they had out there, the University Partnership. And it actually turned out that they offered a full ride for it. So I went to college and I exited college with no debt. Now, not a lot of people can say that, but I have to tell you, those opportunities are out there, and they're out there particularly for this field. So if you guys are interested in technology, if you really want to make technology something that you want to do, it's very easy to find the opportunities that you want just by going out there and looking for them. All you need to do is have a burning desire to figure out what you want to do, and the path will lay itself out for you.
Okay, well, thank you for joining us. Appreciate you being here this morning. And last but not least, is Aisha Williams. And Aisha actually is a quality engineer working for Alcoa, which is the Aluminum Company of America. And some great experience. And actually, you've been with Alcoa now for since 2011. Okay. As a young lady, and I asked you this question first time around, what led you into engineering?
Well, engineering is a broad spectrum. You can pretty much go with the word engineer behind your name and go into anything. If it's not management level, if it's not, you could get into die designs, you could get into software designs, you could get into a lot of different type of engineering or business aspects of wherever. So it's very broad.
Okay. And your responsibilities with Alcoa?
Well, for quality engineering, because Alcoa produce airplane parts, and particularly at Cleveland Works, we produce small and large airplane parts, which is at least one part of Alcoa's product is on an airplane. So my job is very important. So communicating with the customers and making sure the customers' demands is reached with the quality aspect of our final inspectors and the final processing, which includes inspectors, sonic operators, and in our penetrant inspection, which is penetrant inspection is basically to make sure there's no cracks or any deviations in the part. And then we have a sonic because of the thickness of a part to make sure that the process prior to that was done correctly. And so our guys have to produce all of these different testing, and then my job is to make sure all of the testing is documented, everything is completed, and then my name goes on the certification saying they did their job. So my job is pretty important, because if they fail, it comes back on me.
Back to you. Yeah. Now, you are a Bedford High School graduate, and you have a Master of Business degree. Was that from the University of Akron?
No, that was actually from Walden University.
Okay. So then your Bachelor's of Art and a minor in Business is then from the University of
That's
Akron.
University, yeah.
Okay. We've got a little clip here just to show of Alcoa, just to give you an idea just how huge Alcoa is, and all of the work that they're involved with. Let me bring this up, and we'll work through this. Okay. I'm not showing you this because I'm playing you with the computer, getting everything up and ready. Then we'll be ready to go. Okay, now I'm going to switch you over. Let me put this up here first of all. There we go. Send computer, send. Let's go. I want the three of you to stay after, and I want you to solve my computer issue here. And we'll send the bill to Logicync.
I'll give you the invoice.
Okay, that's where we actually want to bring that to an end. Aisha, let me ask you, what actually is the part or the piece that Alcoa literally makes to become a part of a airliner, or are you also involved in making parts for fighter planes for the military and so forth?
Yes, we make a lot of government parts.
Mm-hmm.
We fighter jets. We make stuff for submarines.
Okay.
Because Alcoa is a branch of more than just aluminum. They actually do extrusions, different extrusions from small to large, and then so we have forging solutions, and then and we even make windows.
Oh,
and doors, yeah.
is that right?
Yeah,
Okay.
and cans and
Okay.
and so we do a number of different things, but Cleveland Works actually does the larger airplane parts, and then landing gears, wheels. We do a lot of brakes and wings and window frames for the airplanes.
Okay, very good, super. Let me ask you a couple questions before we go to our students. What about your opportunities now to advance at each individual company? Now, Sam, we mentioned about yours. You've got a 2-year commitment to your particular machine. Do you have the opportunity then to look at the next machine over, or how do you move within the plan itself as far as advancement's concerned?
I think anywhere there might be an open spot, you could go there and learn what you need to learn about that. And
Okay. Are you a union
that.
shop? Do you have a union that represents?
we are a private company,
Okay.
privately owned company. We operate on a core value system. Some of those values are innovation, integrity, customer focus, respect for the individual, things like that.
Okay, so you're a merit shop then. Okay, and they take good care of you.
Yes, yes.
All right, super. John, what about you now, as far as the opportunity to advance within the company itself?
So the nice thing about small companies is that the sky's the limit. The amount of value that you bring to the organization will essentially be equivalent to the pay that you receive. The field that I work in, obviously, technology can be a very broad field. We're typically limited to the customers that come in and say, here's what we need. But the nice thing about it is that if we come up with an idea that could potentially be another product, we can actually put that product out and say, hey, this could be something that we could work with another company on. So the position that I'm in right now, there's actually a strong possibility that I could even spin off my own company under the Logisync name to say, look, we're manufacturing this product. We could put this product on the market. We think it would be great. So, I mean, I could go anywhere from continuing on my engineering job in software development to managing teams of people, which is what I'm helping do now, to starting my own business under the auspices of Logisync. So when you're working with small businesses, again, the sky's the limit, and really whatever you want is where you can go.
Okay. And Aisha, what about you now with regards to the opportunities to advance within the framework of Alcoa?
Well, the thing about a large manufacturing, no matter what decision you make to get into manufacturing, if you start off as even on the floor and you evolve into supervision, and then you go back for a degree, and then you evolve into engineering, there's so many different pathways as you can go. And Alcoa, most of the time, is they have a way to get you where you want to go. Because of it's so large and we're everywhere, there's always opportunity for you to branch off, even, and they always take into consideration that you are within the company. So if you wanted to move to California, there are Alcoas in California, to Arizona, which are the states that I prefer due to the weather.
I was going to say, it sounds like a good idea.
And but there's even from Michigan, and you have Canada. You have wherever you want to go, you have an Alcoa in that state. So that's one of the benefits of a larger company versus the luxury of being more, intimate as John's company.
The three of you are, in a sense, young in your careers. Is there anything that you have done differently within the short period of time of your careers that may have led you off in a different direction? John, let's start with you on that one.
Looking back, I can't say that I would have done anything differently. I would not be where I'm at right now if it hadn't been what I went through in the past. And so, it's a matter of understanding where you want to go and then going towards that. Setting those goals. A college degree is one goal, and it's a great goal, but once you finish college, there's more goals beyond that, and you have to figure out what those are. So looking back, I took all the opportunities that I saw would advance me towards what I wanted. So if you can operate from that frame, there's really nothing to regret getting to where you're at now.
Sure. Aisha, what about you?
Well, the thing is, whenever your decision is, and you'll try one market. I've been in a career a little longer than the gentleman I'm sitting with, but whatever career you decide, it'll help you prepare you for your next step, because you'll take whatever you get into, you want to be able to absorb everything out of it before you move to the next step, and that will help you develop more on, if it's your people skills, if it's understanding the business aspect, if it's understanding leadership better, or if it's understanding the mathematics and science behind what you're trying to get into. So those are the things that any doubts that I have had in the past, I just always try to use that to prepare me for my future.
Mm-hmm. And Sam, you're the young kid on the block here.
Yeah.
Would you have done anything differently in perhaps preparing yourself in high school? You made a wise decision of going to Auburn. Anything that you might have wanted to change?
I don't think I'd change anything I did. I'm pretty happy where I am right now.
Okay.
I have a pretty good job. I actually have fun every day.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I think, and that's one of the important things that we wanted to point out here with regards to pathways in this business. The fact that you are just out of high school, you've got a great job. We've got someone who spent time in a community college and through a partnership has his 4-year degree and has a great job, and someone who took the longer road and also has the great job of spending the 4 years in school and so forth. Okay, it's time to ask Vermilion High School kids questions. So Vermilion, we have you online. Cuyahoga Valley or Warrensville, did either one of you join us?
Good morning, Warrensville is here, thank you.
All right, super, very good. Okay, Vermilion, we'll take our first 2 questions from you, and then we'll go over to Warrensville for a couple questions.
We don't have any, but thank you.
You don't have any?
I know it's unusual for us.
Yes. Okay. Well, we're going to come back, so think about it. Okay, Warrensville, we're going to put the onus on you. Jasmine?
Hello. Hi, we're in our new home. This is the library.
Okay, super.
We would like to know about the salary ranges here in Ohio for going into the specific career that you each hold. What salaries would you guys make?
Okay, Sam, why don't we talk about your salary to begin with?
Right out of high school, I started out making a little over $30,000 a year. It's pretty good coming right out of high school and I have a career center.
And yeah, exactly. You graduated from high school with the Career Center certification, and you're at 30 or better, and nothing but advancement ahead of you.
Yep.
What kind of car did you buy?
I actually bought a Bugatti.
A what, please?
Bugatti?
It's $1 million car.
Oh, okay. We'll have a talk after the program.
All right.
Aisha, what about Alcoa and the type of dollars there?
Well, depending on your engineering degree and the 4 years, typically it's between 45 to 65,000 a year.
Okay, with advancement, and again, let me ask you: is there an evaluation system that you must go through each and every year? Are there goals that are set and so on and so forth, objectives for you as an employee?
Well, typically they want to see how much implementations that you actually put into the business and what ideas you actually brought. So they actually measure your degrees of implementation and the dollars worth. They actually measure that, and so from there, that generally doesn't dictate if you're going to get this huge bonus or raise. But what it can do is allow you to open up more opportunity to go into another direction that will increase what you want to do. So.
Okay, good. And of course, a very successful company. And what about you, John, with Logisync?
So, coming out of school, working for a small business, my degree is in software development. With a 4-year degree, you can expect to earn a starting salary at $50,000 a year, which is more than enough to get by. And in terms of advancement, certainly, as I said, the sky's the limit. You set your own price in life, and you set your own price for your business. And you say, if I want to succeed, just like Aisha was saying, if you want to succeed at your business, you can start doing more and more. You start increasing the value of the company, people will notice that. And so, working in a small business may be slightly different than working in a large company like Swagelak or Alcoa. But, if you can produce visible results and show that value, you can earn whatever you want, pretty much.
Another question for us, Warrensville.
Can you describe some of the pros and cons to your job?
Sure. Yeah.
Aisha, why don't we start with you on that?
Yeah, well, the good thing is about working in the manufacturing, you get to meet a lot of different people from all over. You get a chance to relate to different issues every day on the floor. You meet great people. You get to learn a lot about different lean manufacturing type of techniques, and you get the chance to work with the 50-ton press, which everyone sees on TV, and it cost. We just rebuilt. It was over $100 million to rebuild, and it's the largest forging in the world. It's one more. I can't recall where it's at, but it's one of the largest. So we get a lot of business because of that, and a lot of attention from governments. And we actually even built a tank, which they call as the Monahall, which goes underneath a army tank. And what it does is known as the largest forging in the world. And it's actually, to be able to see that and witness that is amazing. And they actually took it somewhere and they blew it up just to see if this piece will withhold, because generally what happens in an explosion is that welding breaks, and because it's one piece, that welding won't break, so it'll save the people lives inside. So that's pretty one of the amazing things that you get to see at Alcoa. And you have the cons is you never know what to expect, so you just never know, so you have to always keep your guards up, and you always have to be open up to opportunity and disappointment.
Pros and cons at Swagelock and your job?
Pros really outweigh the cons at Swagelock. Everyone that works there is it's a really great community. Just the only con I can really think of is it's a little noisy in there, but we do get earplugs that we could use. That's just about it.
Are you the youngest kid on the block then, as
Uh,
far as employment?
As far as I know,
Okay,
I think so.
very good. Great opportunity. John, what about your pros and cons small business?
So there are a lot of pros, many of which I've already mentioned, being able to set your own price and all that. But the coolest thing about where I work at Logisync is that, the breadth of things that we've worked on. I've worked on everything from the flow computers for Navy nuclear submarines to the braking system for the New York City subway cars. We had to debug that because they were having problems with it. And that's not something you want to have problems with. So when you're working for a small business, especially Logisync, the kind of business that I'm in, you have a lot of different opportunities. You'll never know what project is going to come in next. We worked with companies as large as McDonald's. We've worked with companies as small as, one or two guys trying to get an idea off the ground. And so there's a wide range of opportunities that we have for technology. So that's definitely one of the huge pros. One of the cons, though, obviously being a desk job, is physicality. I need to make sure I'm always being physical. I need to, because I'm sitting at a desk for a lot of time during my day, I need to make sure I get up and move around. But honestly, that's the biggest con, and it's really easy to mitigate that. So yeah, other than that, I have to say I'm very satisfied with how things have turned out, and there's a lot of pros to being in small business, especially with regard to where you want to take your career.
And I think just expanding upon that with regards to all three of you in the area of manufacturing, and you mentioned ideas and new ideas, and this is how business grows. This is how we grow as a society, and manufacturing where it is today, and always will. I imagine as we continually move in the area of technology, manufacturing will always hopefully be that at least a half a step ahead of what's going on. Warrensville, another question for us.
Can you explain, I'm not sure if any of you guys know the hiring process to work entry level at your companies?
The hiring process.
Well, for Alcoa, generally, depending on which area you're trying to get into, we have a huge internship over the summer that young college students come in and they get a chance to work in the field and get to know our management. So a lot of times we wind up hiring them on. So if they tend to come back to Alcoa a couple of times throughout the internship, they generally will get hired. So that's like on a salary aspect. And as far as like for the production workers, the operators that come in on the floor, most of the time that comes in sporadic. So we'll do a large hiring and then they won't hire for a while, and then they'll hire and then they won't. So we just had a big hiring in the past 2 years that we had, and so they came in for interviews. A lot of it was from who you knew, and a lot of it was a random pick from the website. So you will go to Alcoa Careers, and you will apply, and then they will interview you, and if you're a good fit and pass the drug test and the screening, then they will hire you on.
Sam, you just went through the hiring process not too long ago.
Yeah, but
can you maybe discuss that with us?
at Swagelock, they took me on a few tours to start off with, and then they had I think it was called the Watterson test. That you come in, you take, that kind of gauges you, see where you're at with your kind of knowledge on problem solving and things like that. And then went through the drug screening and background checks and got directly hired.
Okay. And how about in the small business world?
So I kind of have a funny story about how I got hired. So as you know, the college programs, especially engineering programs, often have a requirement for a co-op. And a co-op is basically an internship, whether it's paid or unpaid. Obviously, I went towards the paid ones because, college is quite the drain on the finances. Anyways, I was walking out of one of the buildings at Lorain County Community College, and one of the one of the upperclassmen had mentioned that this company was looking for someone, and so they asked me if I was interested in interviewing, and I went and interviewed, and I've been with them ever since. So for small businesses, it's a little less formal than larger businesses, but certainly you still need to bring the same skills that to smaller businesses that you do to large businesses. That is, you need to be attentive, you need to be you need to understand what their business is like, you need to make sure that it is what you want to do and see what kind of opportunities you have available at that organization. So the hiring process for smaller businesses is going to be a little bit easier to go through than larger businesses, I think, but that certainly doesn't take away from the importance of being able to interview properly and having the skills that allow you to engage the interviewer to make them interested in you.
Yeah. And again, the co-op and or the intern, a great way of getting your foot in the door. Because if you do well, chances are you're going to have an opportunity to be employed by that company. And you bring that experience in with you. Let's go back to Vermilion and see if they've come up with a question. Vermilion?
No, not today, but thank you. Thanks for your time today.
Okay, thank you. Well, we are just about out of time. And let's go. I'll tell you what, Warrensville, you got one more question for us?
Can you talk about the benefits you would receive and how long does it take before you would begin to get the benefits if they are available?
Benefits in a it's WageLock.
At SwageLock, there are a lot of great benefits. I actually recently just got some contacts, and I was able to get those right away, like right off the bat. Pretty good health insurance, dentists, all the care you could get. SwageLock will provide that for you.
And as a new employee, 1 week vacation, 2 week vacation to begin with?
It goes off of you earn it at I think every paycheck,
Okay.
and once you have a bit of it built up, you can use that, and you can go into the negatives a little bit. You can go negative 40 hours
Oh,
if you need to use some time,
all right. Well, that's nice.
and it resets after a while. You gotta earn those hours back.
Okay. And of course, hospitalization and retirement. Any type of 401k program?
Yeah, I just recently signed up for that too.
Well, you are going to be a very wealthy man, aren't you?
I hope so.
I'll tell you. Aisha, what about Alcoa and benefits?
Yes, healthcare, dental, and optical, and 401k match.
Okay. And Logisync?
Sure. Logisync has an excellent program. Because it's a small business. Again, it's a little bit different than the bigger programs. But our president, founder Ed Yenny, takes really good care of us. We've got life insurance, medical, dental insurance, as well as contribution matching for retirement accounts. So he's very interested in us doing well, not only in our personal lives but in our corporate lives as well. So I have to say, if you're looking for the right kinds of benefits, it's definitely something that needs to be asked in the interview, because those kinds of things can be a very big drain on your finances. And if the company that you're working for might not take care of them, or doesn't consider taking care of them, then it's definitely worth looking into those opportunities that actually do take care of that.
Tuition reimbursement for going back to school? All three of your?
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, actually, I don't know if you've ever heard of the website Coursera. I'm actually taking an online course right now, as a matter of fact, and Logisync has offered to pay the fees that it takes to do that course. So absolutely, continuing education is something that I think all businesses want their employees to engage in.
Very good. Okay. Warrensville, thank you. We appreciate all your questions. We appreciate you guys joining us. And I like that new room, Jasmine. Good selection there. Our next program is actually scheduled for March the 5th. And we hope that you'll be able to join us. I'm trying to bring that up here, and I'm not having any luck on it. But there we go. Getting a jump start with learning and earning experiences while in school. And again, we'll be talking about the co-op and internships and so on and so forth. So that'll be March 5th, and we'll get that information out to you. I want to thank Sam and Aisha and John for joining us today, provide some great information. There's tremendous opportunities for you here in advanced manufacturing. You just need to make sure you follow the path that's going to be most beneficial to you. As with Sam, coming out of school, going to a career center, and having that certification with Aisha, a 4-year degree, and then with John getting his 2-year degree and turning that into a 4-year degree. So the pathways are there, the opportunities are there. What best suits you, whether it's your finance and or your final goals to where you want to be as far as that first job is. So again, thank you so much, and we hope to see you next time around. So matter of fact, I think Warrensville, I think we've got you set up for a couple programs next week and the following week. So again, thank you and have a good rest of the day.